You know what, Helena? This might be the one time that you've made it to my good books.
That's not nice for any mom to say.
I don't think you're a bad person.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island All-Stars Season 3, Episode 20. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, hype up the video, and leave a comment down below. So we start with Sean and Lucinda being told by Millie that they were laughing in Belle's face. Of course, these two have amnesia, and so they're like, what? Laughing in her face, what? Now, the grace that I will give them is that they weren't deliberately laughing in Belle's face. They were laughing on their way to the secret garden, which was in Belle's line of sight, and she saw that, and she was offended by that. But did they like cackle in her face? No, they didn't. They didn't. But because of this, Belle is feeling very disrespected, and she says, you know what? The chapter is now officially closed with Sean and I. Only now. It's only closed now? Here's the confusing thing about these people, yeah? Somebody like Jess will call Tommy a child, a little boy, and then turn around and still want to pursue him. Somebody like Belle is gonna cuss Sean clean out, basically call him despicable, like call out this deplorable behavior, all this kind of stuff. But it's only now that you're closing the chapter for good. My brain doesn't fathom. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. My brain doesn't fathom that. But anyways, the chapter is closed between them. Good. One chapter that's not closed is Scott and Cher. So Cher takes Scott to the terrace, and she's trying to see what's really going on.
On the terrace is ridiculous. Surely not.
I still am open. You seem pretty cozy with Jack.
I do like him. But it's only been 2-3 days. We're all here for an experience, and we're all here to find someone. We obviously had a lot in common.
I do agree that we do have good conversations.
This is why I was suspicious of Scott when he came back from Villa USA, and he's like, oh yeah, there's a girl over there. Oh, she was on me. She was on me so bad. She was so mad when I had to leave the villa. I said, really? Really? I think you're telling on yourself, Scott. And so now that he's intrigued to get to know Cher, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. That door wasn't officially closed for him, right? So he says to her, I'm looking for something that's just so much better than what I have with Leanne. So until then, I'm not going to lock anything off with anyone, but I'm also not going to ruin what I have with Leanne. Hold on. Is what I'm saying making sense? The point is, he's still exploring, okay? He likes Leanne. Not enough to make things official or exclusive or anything like that, right? So, yeah, I mean, Scott has the right to do so. Scott has the right to do so. I just wish that he was... Can I say that he's not being clear? No. But when we see him talk to her, they seem a lot further along than what he actually is. And so that's a little bit confusing for me. But then again, Leanne is the same person who was like, oh, I wouldn't have made you leave if I was leaving. Like, you owe it to yourself to stay in the villa and see what else, you know, could happen for you. So Leanne being upset, I don't know if it really makes sense. So Cher has a conversation with Leanne afterwards. She says, listen, I'm not trying to step on toes. I'm trying to be respectful about this. And I think that she was respectful. She was just seeing if there was an opportunity there with Scott. She wasn't being flirty with him or anything. So yeah, Leanne is like, do you, baby? If you want to explore, explore. But that's not what you want to say. I get it. You're not trying to shut down another woman's ventures. Like, we're all here for ourselves. But if you don't mean it, don't say it. Don't encourage this girl to pursue your man. You don't want her to pursue your man. Not gonna lie, the longer I'm watching the Scott and Leanne connection, it does feel like she is a placeholder. I wasn't feeling like that last week, but yeah, as time is going on, I'm like, Scott, what's the deal here? Because Leanne is falling fast, right? And so if he's still wavering, or if he doesn't see this as like an endgame situation, then maybe cool things off. You know, you guys are making out every day in the bed. This woman is attached to your hip. You can tell that she's growing very, very, very fond of the guy. So if she's just a placeholder, please be more cautious with her feelings, okay? Speaking of placeholders, Tommy admits that he is no longer feeling it with Kira. He's like, there's nothing there. It's not even that there's something missing. I'm just not feeling it, right? So he's telling the guys this. Kira comes over, steals him. He tells her this, and she's like, yeah, this is kind of a blind side, but you haven't been speaking to me all day, so I guess it kind of makes sense. She swiftly turns over to Curtis, and these two are very full on, very fast. And I can't say that I'm surprised, because how I know the both of them, this is true to their character that's depicted on the show. But I'm like, I've also seen how these two react when things don't work out in their favor, and they are both mini crash outs. So if you're falling hard and fast for something that is very reminiscent of love bombing, I only see disaster in the future. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is just a fling or if they're really trying to do something. I genuinely cannot tell. I just know if it is something serious and it's starting this hot and heavy, it's only going to end in disaster. Another disaster is Lucinda. So she wants to have a conversation with Belle. Belle finally gives in and has this conversation with Lucinda, and she is just reading her.
I'm very sorry about this whole situation.
Because that's not true, is it? So
I
what's
didn't-
real?
Don't start coming at
No,
me.
but what is it? Let's be open and let's be honest. What's real? You've not once gave a fuck about my feelings, so don't expect that same thing from me.
I
See
don't
through it.
really respect you talking to me like that. Literally known me for like, what?
I don't need to
10
know you for
days?
any longer.
Yes, Belle. Yes, Belle. Get her again. Get her for me. Ah, loved it. Basically, Bella's not falling for the BS. The ditzy act is not working anymore. It was working on a few people, but the jig is up, sweetie. And Belle is calling it out. Belle is like, your behavior is fake. Your movements are shady. I would never trust you as a friend. I never want to interact with you. You stay in your corner, I'll stay in mine. Ain't no problem. Lucinda's here trying to say, well, what can I do to make it better? Nothing. There is nothing you could do to make it better. I do not like you. You are here for the plot. You are here to cause drama. And I don't like that. I don't fool with people like that. I don't know why Lucinda's fighting so hard to be Belle's friend. Who cares? Like, it's one girl. She still has Millie over there ready to jump at any opportunity to wipe her tears. So, like, you're fine. You're totally fine. So, when Lucinda goes back to talk to Sean, she's like, oh, God forbid a girl is just in her own bubble. You are living in an alternate reality. And therefore, everybody else who's in the real world is seeing you as fake. Like, you just have your own delusions and your own code of conduct, your own standards that you live up to that everybody else is confused by. So yeah, you do come across fake. You do look like you don't care for anybody else who's around you. You just care for yourself, that bubble that you're referring to. As everyone's getting ready in the evening, Jack and Cher touch base. And oh no, this is after. Jack and Cher touch base, and she's essentially saying, I'm not cutting you off. I'm just also not cutting anybody else off. So I'm still going to cast my net wide and see what I catch. And right now, he's still on her list, allegedly. And so is Scott. So Jack is like, well, you're my number one. Find a different number one, because it's not gonna be her. Okay. Then we have Leanne and Scott, who have the conversation about his talk with Cher. And Leanne is not taking it as well as Scott would have hoped.
I need to figure out if I'm open for the sake of being open or whether I'm actually open.
I feel like everything you've said is just not correlating to this.
Nothing's going to change between me and you.
No, I know that, but
Well, there we go then.
essentially putting me in a triangle in any other
You're not
situation.
in a fucking triangle.
I would never ever sit there and be in a triangle.
Leanne, you're not in a triangle. So you're saying don't get to know her?
No,
So what, you saying we're closed off? What are you saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you to do anything.
So I am also confused by this conversation, Scott. You are not alone, because Leanne is upset at the fact that Scott is putting her in a triangle. But then she's also like, I'm not telling you not to talk to her. I'm not telling you need to, steer clear of her. So one of those things can't be true. Like, they can't both be true at the same time. Like, what's going on, sister? What is it that you want? So then Scott is like, well, I actually don't want things to change between us. Do you want anything to change? And she's like, I don't even think she actually gave an answer, but I'll give you an answer for her. Yes, she does want things to change. She wants you guys to be exclusive. That's the problem with Leanne, yeah? Leanne is trying to come across like the cool girl, and she does this even with other people. If there's an altercation, she doesn't want to pick a side. She just wants to be right in the middle, like trying to please everybody. And sometimes that can be a problem. And here with Scott, she kind of does the same thing. She doesn't want to ruffle his feathers, but she's obviously upset with him or irritated by the way he's choosing to handle all of this. If you don't want to be in this triangle, then don't. Either remove yourself, which I feel is a little bit dramatic because the man hasn't even done anything yet, or just tell him point blank, yeah, I kind of was hoping that it would just be me and you. So ball is in your court. You can make the decision moving forward. Like, I know it's a lot at this point, but you're tormenting yourself because you don't want to be honest with yourself. And that's going to be an issue. Like, I think for her, the biggest fear is if I make a stance on this and he doesn't agree, then I'm going to have egg on my face. But you would rather take a stand and he decide, even if he decides you're overdoing it, whatever. At least you're staying true to yourself. Carrington and Helena have a conversation where he's just wondering how things are between Helena and Belle. And she's like, there's literally not an issue at all. We both do like you, but my connection with you is stronger than any other connection I have. And Belle is preoccupied right now, but also Bella's not the type to crucify us for pursuing a connection. So we're totally fine. We can resume business as usual. Then we have Connor and Imani. They head over to the terrace. Oh, God. This man's game, I've realized, is being tactile. As long as you are in front of him, he is going to try to touch you, try to like make you feel comfortable, which in turn makes me feel uncomfortable. But it seems to be working with Imani. They did kiss on the terrace. I'm actually not like mad at this connection. It seems to fit better than Imani and Jack and better than Connor and Whitney. I just still am not buying into this connection. However, like I've been saying all season regarding my sisters, have fun. This is not how it typically goes for my girls. So if you want to have your Villa romance, child, go ahead. Moving on to Spin the Bottle. There was a lot going on. I'll be shocked if I caught everything because I'd probably miss some stuff. But here we go. Helena thinks that Carrington is the best kisser. Yemen gives Whitney a lap dance. Now, personally, I thought it was decent. I did. Compared to how these men tend to give lap dances on the show, this wasn't too bad. She loved it anyway, so it doesn't matter what we think. Belle thinks that Sean is putting in bare minimum in his couple, meaning to her. Millie thinks that Scott causes the most unnecessary drama in the villa. Tommy thinks that Lucinda is waiting for somebody better to walk in the door. And then he lists all the shenanigans that she's been getting up to. And she got so defensive. She said, I'll prove you wrong. I hope you do. Baby girl, I hope you do. Let's see this true connection, the strong, undeniable connection with Sean. I would love to see it and to see how long you can hold up this facade for. Okay, girl. Then next we have Scott, who thinks that Belle deserves better and he performs his favorite sex position with her. Sean's response to that is that Lucinda and himself have something special and he doesn't care what anybody else feels about it. He gave a flippant apology to Belle and Tommy. Honestly, at this point, I do understand it. Like, he has said sorry. Whether or not you accept it, that's a different issue, but I've said sorry. So therefore, I'm moving on with what I'm doing. If y'all don't like it, then y'all don't like it. On that one little thing, I do agree with Sean, okay? Sean lines up his top 3 in order of preference. First is Lucinda, second is Belle, and third is Imani. So, why is Belle in your lineup? Not only is Belle in the lineup, she snogs his face off. Lucinda's irritated. Girl, what did you expect? She's like, oh, you didn't have to kiss her like that. That's true. He could have just pecked her, or he could have just not picked her at all, right? The whole villa's like, oh, it's given. I want her back. It's given. I'm missing that old thing. Low-key, that kiss kind of was. It really kind of was. Scott says that Lucinda is the most... Hold on. It says that Lucinda's playing a game, but it wasn't necessarily that prompt. It was something that, like, who could be? Yeah. Who could be playing a game? And so Scott says Lucinda. This is the time where Kira actually clears up this whole telling the girls she wasn't looking at Kieran just to throw off the scent or whatever. She says Shaq said it, and here goes Lucinda. See, I told you. No, what you said was you don't remember. What you said was you don't remember. That's different, okay? But then Kira's like, hold on. You agreed though. So yes, the words themselves didn't come out of your mouth first, but you did agree. So Lucinda, I don't know what you thought this was, okay? So anyways, then we have Kira's turn. She was supposed to line up the guys or whatever, but we're more focused on Scott. He's trying to mouth something, or he was mouthing it to Lucinda. And essentially he's saying, there were more things I could have said about Lucinda, but I chose not to. And this is where the drama ensues.
Nothing to do with you. That's about her. Seriously, fuck off, mate. Fuck off.
Settle down.
Settle down. Not, mate, I'm not going in on you. You're getting fucking involved.
What's your problem with me?
Nothing. I never said any. I never said
What he is.
Scott.
Say it with your chest.
Do you think I wouldn't say anything to Chess with you? 48 hours ago, it was fuck all to do with you, but now she's everything, innit?
The way Scott was heated. This man was ready to jump up and like, hey, not too much on me. Like, he was ready to go at Sean, and I don't blame him. I wish that Scott didn't fall for the bait, though, because obviously Sean is trying to rage bait you, and he was successful. He was trying to get a reaction out of you, and he got it, right? But thank you, Sean, for showing your true colors. I'm supposed to believe that Sean is a wounded baby bird. He's just a sweet little puppy, so innocent. Please. No. So then after the fact, it's Tommy, Leanne, Scott, and Belle. They're all like, yeah, Sean is not the guy I thought he was. He's not as innocent as he presents to be. So all that time when Scott was calling out Sean and y'all people were taking... Look at you now. So that behavior didn't age well. And then here goes Belle talking about, oh, and look at him trying to force out the tears and stuff. Weren't you just coddling the man for said tears? The tears back then were foolish, and if he were to cry now, they'd be foolish too. Girl, come on now. Come on. So anyways, I'm glad that the veil is lifting when it comes to Sean, but I'm also like, can y'all just stand on business? Like, can y'all just stand on business? If you're gonna back Sean, then back him. Because right now, he's not really doing anything different than what he's been doing this entire season. You guys are only flipping now because what he did affected you. While all this is happening, Lucinda and Sean go to the terrace because they feel like they're the most hated couple of the show. Truly, we don't give a damn. Like, we don't care. And truly, it's not even that the whole villa hates you. It's simply Belle, who's really agitated, and Tommy. And Scott. But Scott, it's not even for the couple. It's for Sean. Scott does not like Sean. But does the whole villa hate you? No, it's not even that deep. But anyways, they're up there and he's like, oh gosh, I feel like I cheated on you because I kissed Belle or I kissed those other girls. You feel like you cheated on the girl? Oh my. And then he's like, oh, I was scared that you wouldn't love me anymore. Love you. We've lost the plot. Leanne and Scott then have a disagreement because of Cher, right? And she's like, honestly, I'm still upset about that. And he's low-key smirking and she's like, I don't know what's funny. But babe, at this point, it is funny because he didn't do anything. Like, he didn't do anything. So, yeah, for her to be so mad and then trying to act like she's okay with stuff that she's obviously not okay with, it's just like, you can't help but laugh at this point. Then this man goes and sticks his foot in it. He's like, I mean, we still could be progressing. It's just, that's a side quest. Hey, don't say that. Don't say that, okay? But speaking of side quests, Kira and Curtis are off in the corner sucking face. Don't understand that connection whatsoever, but fine. Lucinda and Scott have a conversation because she's like, okay, I don't want us to have this tension here. Like, what the hell is going on?
My card was could be
Right.
the biggest game player. The things you've done have been questionable.
We don't want to get involved in it.
Lucinda, you've made some questionable
Right.
moves in here. I think you just need to figure out where your head's at.
Well, you think I don't know where my head's at? Shut up. It just happened. I don't really know how else to explain it. I'm not thinking that wholeheartedly, obviously.
Yeah, I seen him leaning back there and it was almost like he was trying to squeeze tears out. I don't think he's a good guy. Trust me, Lucinda, everything I've said about that man is true.
Lucinda, if Scott is holding a wooden spoon, you are the pot. You are the pot, and everything you do is for the plot. Girl, please. Nobody is buying this ditzy thing anymore. And did you guys hear her in this scene? She like softened her voice to try to seem more like, what? Not really. I didn't know. Please. Who do you think you are fooling? So then Scott starts to say some things about Sean that, you know, you would think Lucinda would come to his defense about. She doesn't. She doesn't. Lucinda says nothing. And so here I am like, wow, Sean, you are really windmilling for a girl who would not come to your defense in your absence. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. So anyways, in the next episode, it's going to be a recoupling. It looks like Cher is going to pick Scott. Oh my gosh. I mean, guys, the hideaway is still an option. It's not the end of the world. I don't know why we're not utilizing the hideaway. It's literally for people who are not coupled up together. So yeah, Leanne, you have a moment to get your lick back if that's what you want to do. But it looks like that decision is going to cause some chaos. We'll see how that all unfolds. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.